Good day everyone, I'm Valderas and I'm going to explain what is a purifier and how to assemble and disassemble this purifier. So purifier is the one that purifies the fuel oil used on board. It is a machine that separates impurities from fuel oil. So this is the process of eliminating the solid, gases, or sludge from oil. Oil purification is a vital undertaking that helps us in the maintenance of the machine. So this video presentation explains on how to assemble and disassemble the self-checkers, vertical shaft, upper bearing housing, horizontal shaft, and gear pump. So before starting the assembly and disassembly processes, you need to read the user's manual carefully, including the inspection points and the inspection methods, so that you can perform all procedures reliably and efficiently. Before starting this assembly, use a safety joint or motor fans to make sure that all equipment is completely stopped. We need to perform this assembly in the following order. So first is to remove the sludge cover, then release the horizontal shaft, and then release the vertical shaft. Disconnect the connecting pipes. So remove the plug to release the oil from the piping using a hook snapper. Remove the cap nuts from the dirty oil inlet, heavy liquid water inlet, and light liquid outlet pipes. Loosen the lower cabinets, turning all of the piping in a horizontal direction. The inlet pipe is equipped with an orifice for flow measurement. We need to take care not to lose this device. Loosen and remove the cover nuts using a wrench. Remove the hexagonal nut that retains the inlet pipe. Tap the top of the inlet pipe with a plastic hammer to release the contact on the tapered part. Loosen the socket cap screw fastened to the sludge cover. Mount the lifting jack on the thread of the upper hood and slowly loop the sludge cover using the chain block. This completes disassembly of the sludge cover. To disassemble the bowl, use the following procedure. First is loosen the disc nuts using the dish nut handle. Remove the disc nuts. Remove the heavy liquid chamber, followed by the heavy liquid impeller. To replace the gravity disc, remove the light liquid chamber using the light liquid chamber handle. When the light liquid impeller and inlet pipe are removed, disassembly of the top of the bowl is complete. To remove the bowl first, insert the cap nut spanner in the bowl and screw the release bolts into the threads on the heads of the cap nuts. Next is loosen and remove the cap nuts. Using the cap nut, spanner mount the bowl lifting jack onto the guide tubes on the thread. Tighten the bowling lifting jack. If the bowl does not float up when the bowling lifting jack is tightened, set the pipe in the handle and tighten it. This jacking effect causes the bowl to float up after the bowl floats up slowly. Lift it up to remove it from the self-checkers. After removing the bowl from the self-checkers, place it on the disassembly stand and be sure to align the 4 pins on the disassembly stand with the grooves on the bottom of the bowl. After setting the bowl, remove the bowl lifting jack and set the disc clamp plate. Screw the push bolts of the disc clamp plate into the guide tubes and firmly tighten the hexagonal nuts with the hammer. After fastening the bowl nuts, handle to the bowl nut using the socket cap screw. Tap it with a hammer to remove it. Remove the bowl nut. Remove the disc clamp plate. Set the patch on the distributor, then set the push bolt handle, bolt head jack, and this nut. Gradually tighten the handle to remove the bowl head. And remove the distributor with the top disc and this still mounted. Remove the bowl lifting jack and remove the top disc and this from the distributor. Set the push bolt and handle into the bowl head jack. Set the patch into the mounting section of the cap nut on the ball body and fasten the main cylinder into the ball head jack using the 4-socket cap screw. The main cylinder can be easily removed by screwing it while loosening the push bolt's handle. This simultaneous loosening and tightening makes it easy to remove the main cylinder in the vertical position. Take care not to damage the main cylinder sheets and sliding parts when handling them. The process described so far is the routine disassembly process. However, if the main cylinder does not hold and enclose correctly, you will need to inspect and clean the pilot valve at this point. This is the procedure for disassembling the pilot valve. First, we will describe how to remove the two pilot valves from the sides of the ball body. Remove the valve nut using a hexagonal wrench screw. The valve jack bolts into the pilot valves and gradually tighten the butterfly nuts to release the pilot valve. Take care not to damage the nylon valve sheets mounted on the valve guides or the sheets on the pilot valves. After removing the valve jacks, remove the pilot valves and the valve sheets from the valve guides. Inspect each O-ring for hardening the damage. Clean and if necessary replace the O-rings. When removing the O-rings from the valve guides, take care not to damage the inner surface when cleaning the insertion parts of the pilot valves. Do not use metal utensils or rough sandpaper to clean these parts. Take care not to damage the inner surface of the O-ring. Such damage can cause the seals of the O-rings to deteriorate, obstructing the opening and closing of the valves. Be sure to clean using a soft cloth. This is the procedure for cleaning the main seal rings. Hit the tip of the packing remover and melt off the packing like this. Take care not to damage the main seals ring grooves. Before mounting the main seals, clean the grooves thoroughly. Align the main seal rings with the grooves and gently insert it in the grooves. Use a wooden panel or the light to ensure that the main seal rings is fully driven and mounted. Do not strike the main seal rings directly with a plastic hammer or the like Do not strike the main seals directly with a plastic hammer. This completes the mounting of the main seal rings disassembly of the bowl. So now is complete except for the drain nozzles. First is inspect and clean all of the disassembled parts and replace packing and O-rings as necessary when you have finished cleaning. Inspecting and replacing parts assembled. The bowl clean the expansion parts of the pilot valve, lubricate the insertion parts and O-rings. The pilot valves and insert them while lightly pressing on the pilot valves. Take care not to press with excessive force as this may damage the pilot valve O-rings. Tighten the valve nuts firmly. This is the procedure for mounting the main cylinder loop. Lubricate the O-rings and mount them on the main cylinder so that they cannot twist. Set the ball head jack push Fulton handle into the valve cylinder. Fully lubricate the sliding parts on the ball body and valve cylinder and set the patches gradually. Loosen the jack handle to align the zero mark on the main cylinder and the ball body and match. Remove the ball head jack and patch. Finally, turn cylinder and confirm that mounting is complete. The distributor to the disc. There are two types of disc. We will start with a large diameter disc, may be mounted in the distributor in any order aligned. The parts with the key on the distributor and press firmly to mount them. After mounting the large diameter disc, the small diameter disc, the number of small diameter discs differs according to the model. Be careful to mount the small diameter disc so that the top disc does not touch the flange of the disc. If a large diameter disc is mounted at the top so that the surface of the disc touches the flange of the disc, the bowl may not tighten correctly and the disc may be damaged. Some looseness in the disc may occur over time from repeating use of this occurs and add more disc. Screw the bowl lifting jack into the distributor and mount it on the bowl. Screw the bowl lifting jack into the distributor and mount it on the bowl body. Align the notch pins on the distributor with the notch grooves on the bowl body. Remove the bowl lifting jack as with the disc aligned with the disc. Align the top disc with the key on the distributor. Check the O-rings is installed on the top disc. Check the O-rings is mounted on the bowl head mount. The bowl head align the grooves on the bowl head with the notch on the bowl body for mounting. The zero mark of each notch position is indicated above the notch screw. The disc clamp plate is in the distributor and tighten the nut with a wrench to compress the disc. Compressing the disc is an important procedure. Its purpose is to dampen the springing effect in the disc mounted on the bowl, to protect the thread of the bowl nuts and make it easier to tighten the bowl nut. Mount the bowl nut, apply until lock. Lubricant to the thread of the bowl nut and the bowl body. Use the bowl nut handles to mount the bowl nut on the bowl body. Check the position of the zero marks on the bowl nut and bowl body. Tighten the bowl nut so that the zero marks on the bowl nut and bowl body are within 10 or 15 millimeters of each other. You should be able to align the zero marks within 10 to 15 millimeters simply by tightening the bowl nut firmly. With the zero marks within 10 to 15 millimeters of each other, fasten the bolts to the bowl nut handle and align the zero marks completely using a hammer. Tighten until the zero marks are completely aligned. Remove the bowl nut handle. This completes the assembly of the bowl. We will now explain the procedure for mounting the bowl onto the self-jector. Before mounting the bowl on the self-jector, remove the disc clamp plate. Set the bowl lifting jack on the top of the bowl head and lift. With the bowl lifted up instead, inspect the drain nozzles mounted on the bottom of the bowl, the slits on the drain nozzles. The drain nozzles are 0.9 mm wide on the small and medium size model and 1.1 mm wide on the large model. Remove the drain nozzles and check for clogging. If the drain nozzles are clogged, clean them thoroughly with an argument. After cleaning, mount the drain nozzles with glue. Place the bowl on the self-jector. Before mounting the bowl, apply lubricant to the O-ring of the water. Supply device set the self-jector, bushing on the vertical shaft slowly. Lower the bowl to mount it firmly on the vertical shaft. Remove the bowl lifting jack. Be sure to mount the cap nut to fasten the bowl firmly to the vertical shaft. After you fasten the bowl, confirm that O-rings are mounted in the inlet pipes and light liquid impeller on the top of the bowl head, and the bowl is fastened firmly. At this point, apply lubricant to the O-rings to ensure smooth assembly firmly, fastening light liquid chamber to the threads of the top piece using the light liquid chamber handle. At this point, check that the light liquid chamber is firmly tightened by confirming that the zero marks in the light liquid chamber and bowl head are aligned. The gravity disc followed by the Teflon packing and then the heavy liquid impeller. Bump the heavy liquid chamber mount it so that the zero marks align with a zero mark on the bowl body. If the zero marks are not aligned, shaking may result. Be sure to apply anti-lock lubricant to the thread of the disc nut and bowl before mounting the disc nut handle with a hammer to tighten the disc up completely. This completes the mounting of the bowl. We will now explain the procedure for mounting the sludge cover. Check the O-rings are mounted on the sludge cover and mount the sludge cover using the lifting jack. 2 O-rings are mounted inside the sludge cover. When mounting the sludge cover, slowly lower it vertically to prevent damaging the O-rings mount. The 4 socket cap screw temporarily fasten the socket set screw into the groove into the water inlet pipe. Do not tighten this screw completely. Mount the nut on the inlet pipes when mounting the nut. Mind the zero mark on the nut and upper hood depending on the screw. The angle of the zero marks on the nut to that on the upper hood is not a problem if it is 180% degrees or less depending on progress. However, if the angle is 180 degrees, you will need to replace the light liquid impeller. Take care not to tighten the hexagonal nuts any more than necessary. Excessive tightening can cause deformation of the impeller. Fasten the socket set screw and mount the cover nuts. Check that the orifice for regulating flow in the inlet pipe is mounted. Mount the cap nuts on the inlet pipe's inlet and light liquids inlet pipe. Mount the packing on the cap nuts of each of the various connecting pipes. Tighten the connecting pipes firmly using hook spanner. Finally, connect the water piping. The specification of the water piping may differ, so please handle the connection procedure accordingly. This completes all assembly processes.